for watching the recording. Today is another Q&A's live stream. Ask me anything, your favorite. So I'll be here for the next 20 minutes, but it must be 20 minutes sharp because after that I need to run. So yeah, use the time wisely. Ask me anything about Czech immigration, finding accommodation in the Czech Republic, getting health insurance, starting business, whatever you want to know, I'll be happy to answer if I know the answer, of course. I'm fairly confident that anything that is related to Czech immigration or housing here or employing foreigners, maybe getting health insurance, starting a business, that I should be able to answer that pretty well. But let's see. Surprise me, guys. Ask a question I will not know the answer. That's the challenge for today. Yeah, 2 people join in. Thank you very much. I don't know who you are, the 2 of you, but thank you for being here. So it's Arvinda and Education Academy. So Arvinda, hi Jan, how are you? I'm good. I don't know, Arvinda, if you're in the Czech Republic already or not. But we have like 25 degrees now. That's crazy. So it's very warm. So everything's good. Education Academy, hello, I'm back again. Hello. Feel free to ask your questions. Today, challenge is to ask a question I will not know an answer for. Hopefully you don't embarrass me too much. Ahmed Hassan, hello Jan, how are you doing? I'm good, how are you? Harshal Rao, hi dear, hi Harshal. Walid Hassan, hi, starting business is interesting, but I think that takes a long session. No? Well, it depends. It depends because there are, of course, different situations. First of all, it depends. If you're an EU citizen, starting a business is pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated there. If you're a non-EU citizen, but are you already in the Czech Republic, or you are already in the Czech Republic, then it's pretty straightforward as well. The only kind of more complicated situation is if you are non-EU citizen and you are not in the Czech Republic yet. That can get a bit more complicated, but all the other situations are relatively straightforward. Another thing is also what kind of business you want to start and how you want to start business, because generally you have 2 options. Either do it as a freelancer, which is, I don't want to say super easy because that will sound like there is no reason to use our services to do that, but it's relatively straightforward. The taxation is low compared to other options, so that's like the easier part. Then you can start a business under a company, like limited liability company. We call it SRO in Czech. That's an abbreviation, but anyway. And that's a bit more complicated and also in many cases unnecessary because there is higher taxation, takes longer, all that. So it doesn't have to be like a long session for starting a business. Harshal Raut, am from Kuwait, need to know more about long-term work visa document checklist if I want to apply from Kuwait. Ideally, go to our website. Also depends on what you mean long-term work visa, because there is no long-term work visa in the Czech Republic. So first of all, you should get the options straight. Because if you come to me and say you want to get a long-term work visa for the Czech Republic, I'll tell you, okay, there is no option like that. There is the seasonal work visa, and that's bullshit. You definitely don't go for it. And then there is an employee card or a blue card. Or some people say work, but they mean freelancing, like English teachers, for example. So you would first need to specify what exactly you want to do and apply for, and then we can go through the checklist. So you can get to our website, movetoprague.com, and if you go to the blog section, we have, I think, hundreds of blogs about different visa options. Or if you just comment under the video is uploaded, because this is a live stream, but I keep all the live streams on my Facebook. It's just in the live stream section. And if you comment after the video is uploaded, because that takes some time, it's usually like big files. then just I will send you a link directly to all the different options that are available that you can choose from, and then there are also the checklists. Prague Home. For family reunification resident permit extension, can we provide VZP paper confirmation if physical card was misplaced? You can, but usually the paper confirmation has a limited validity, maximum 3 months. So that will not get you 2 years of residence permit anyway. So you will at some point need to give them the actual card as well. But of course you can use it for the interim period. Yes. Education Academy, please advise while applying for employee card submission in Dresden on 29 April. Can I quit my current job in Croatia? Will that affect anything on my application? I believe I answered that already the last time. I would definitely not change anything on your status in Croatia until you get approved in the Czech Republic, because Czech Republic does not give visas, neither employee cards easily, so you can get denied. And then if you already lost the opportunity to stay in Croatia, because I don't know what are the rules in Croatia, maybe you leave a job and you immediately get your residence permit cancelled or whatever. So if you are no longer are like allowed to stay in Croatia, then that was kind of a mistake, I would say. So I would definitely not recommend changing anything on your status until you get approved, because there is no guarantee that you will ever get approved, and there is no guarantee if you get approved how long it will take. Officially it should take 60 to 90 days, but I talk about it every time, every live stream. It can take 6 months easily, 4 months, it can take 2 years to get approved or denied even, or even requested some documents after like 6 months, because they're already all older than 6 months, though the ministry requests new ones. That can all happen, so I would definitely not change anything on your situation before you get the decision. I got my papers done from Czech only before a week. Physical documents will be received by next week. Okay, I believe I addressed that. Zishan Haider, hello. What is the difference between DVC 23, DVC 24, both purpose studies? You said in one of the videos that police character certificate is not required for D to get gym now. Yeah, there are, okay. It gets, with the student visas, it's very complicated. And it can get even more complicated. And I never tried to go like too deep into that, because the 23, 24 are just different types of student, and the different type depends on the accreditation or what exactly you're doing here, what kind of program you're studying. You can have a student visa if you come here under the Fulbright program. You can have a student visa if you come for an exchange program, if you come as a volunteer, as an intern. But then there is a difference if it's paid internship or free internship. So unpaid internship. So those are like different variations of studies. And yeah, if you have the correct one, but you need to have a card, not just the visa. I think you need to have the residence card. I'm not sure actually about that. I would need to double check with my colleagues who actually go to the trade license office. But the 23 does not require criminal check if you're getting the trade license. 24 does. Yeah. And it just depends on, I don't know why the trade license office does it this way, but there are different definitions of studies. So it is related to that. So this is actually one of the questions I'm not really sure about. Why is that so? I know how it works, but why? That's okay. Almost got me. Sivak, hi sir. Hi Sivak. Thank you for being here. Arun KB, how do I get an appointment for an employee card application in India? You don't. Unfortunately, you cannot get an appointment for an employee card in India unless your employer is registered in one of the governmental programs. The quota for outside of the programs is 0, so you cannot get an appointment. That's why I always say that you should not pay anyone to give you a work permit or employment contract, because you will never be able to use them. They might be real, okay? So I'm not saying the documents are fake. The documents might be real, but the scam is in the fact that you will never be able to use them. It's like if you get a car, but then you pay for a car, but then the car is kind of like locked in a garage and you cannot leave the garage. So technically you bought a car, but it's still a scam because you cannot use the car because it's staying in the garage. And that's the same situation with employee cards. You can have all the documents ready, but there are zero appointments, zero, none. So you cannot get an appointment, and that's where the scam is. So don't pay anyone for employee cards because you cannot get one. And if your employer is registered in the program, they will let you know, because they will definitely know, and there is some specific procedure they need to follow and you need to follow. So there is no chance you would be getting the appointment yourself. So yeah, it's a 2-year work permit. Okay, so in that case, that might be the employee card. So if you go to our website and you search for an employee card, we have the checklist and all the details you need to know. Or again, just comment under the video when it's uploaded and I'll share the link directly there so you don't have to look for it. Husnain Riaz, students from Asia are struggling to get visa appointments. Is there any chance Czech Republic increase slots for student visa or any solution to decrease waiting time on appointments? Apply in time, guys. That's my only advice. Well, honestly, there are many factors that influence that. Some of them are political reasons. We want to have good relationship politically with some countries, so we increase the quota, or we have no quota at all. With some countries, we don't really have good relations or don't want to, so we decrease the quota. So there are influences like that. There are also things like, for example, in India, a lot of people cheat the system. They know that they cannot get the employee card because there are zero available appointments. So they get a student visa, and as soon as they get here, they switch to an employee card here because they already have the job or know that they will get one soon. And they think it's fine, and it's fine for them, but then it destroys the processes for everyone else coming after them. So that's also another reason that when people try to cheat the system, the ministry also reacts and makes some changes that make it more difficult for everyone to get here. So there are many factors. It usually comes with some delay. So if you cheat today, the rules will not change tomorrow. But if more people constantly cheat the system, then the rules get harder and harder to fulfill. So that's one of the reasons. Another thing is that it's not always about the quota, but it's also about the capacity of the embassy. If you have like embassy where there are 2 people working and visas are just 1% of their agenda, they do so many more things at Czech embassies that are responsible for, because they are the official representation of the Czech Republic in that country. So they have really a lot to do. So if you have like 2 people there, they cannot like deal with 10,000 students every day. They can do like 2 appointments maybe, and that limits the amount of people that can apply. So that's another thing. The only advice I can give you that is kind of reasonable is to apply sooner. Usually the biggest problems start in, say, June, July, because then that's when most students apply. And then if you apply for your appointment in February, you will be competing like 10 other people. So the chances of you getting an appointment are pretty high. If you apply in August, you will be competing with like 3,000 other people. So the chances of you getting an appointment are pretty low. Of course, depends on the country. It's just made up numbers, but it works like this. So if you apply sooner, then also you increase your chances of getting an appointment. Of course, you need to have all the documents ready, because if you get an appointment and then you don't have all the documents, it's even worse. But generally, that's the way to do that. Arvinda, Jan, is Czech Republic there any 3 months work visa for skilled workers? There is a short-term visa for employment, but honestly, I don't really see that as anything you should do, because the amount of work you need to do to get this visa, and then you come here for 3 months, and how much money you will earn, like probably the same or or less than what you paid someone to get you the job here. Just does not really make sense in my opinion. Valina-san, okay, is it possible to talk about the requirement for starting a restaurant in Czech Republic while we already hold Czech PR? Okay, I'll try to do that briefly because we're coming to an end. I have 5 more minutes and there are still a couple more questions here, so I want to answer some more. Restaurant business is pretty specific because that's not an unqualified trade. If you want to start a restaurant, you need to find a person who will be responsible for the business and who meets the qualifications. Usually it's either education in hospitality, but if the education is not from the Czech Republic, you will need to get it nostrified, all that will take long, and or experience. So usually for restaurant business, if you don't meet the criteria yourself, then you should find a person that meets the requirements, then make the person the official responsible person for your business, and then you can operate the business yourself. That would be the short version of it. Chamuki Bazuki, Jan, when you went to immigration conference recently, did they discuss the long-term impact of the Ukrainian refugees on Czech economy, social benefits? Not specifically like that, because that's not, it's more like political discussion. This was like with the people at the ministries that actually do something, you know, and not the politicians. That sounded weird, but that's like, I guess you know what I mean. So this is like a political discussion, like the long-term impact, and that wasn't the topic. But of course, we touched like the topic of Ukrainian refugees in a lot of different fields, but it was more the like practicalities, how it all works, how it will be working, what new is coming. But it wasn't. It was like very specific and like doing focused. It wasn't like theoretical, like, yeah, this is how it might potentially work, but this is okay, we've made these changes and this will be happening. So it wasn't like a philosophical debate. It was more like to the point what will be the ministries doing and what will be happening. Prague home, but employers said if I misplaced, we don't get new physical card. We get only paper confirmation. It's better buy private insurance. If you have a public insurance, then makes no sense to buy the private. So if your employer said something, maybe go to VZP. Don't tell me that if you lose your card, you cannot get it for another, like, never. You know, you can, of course. You just need to report that it was that you lost it or that it was misplaced. They will cancel it and you can get a new one. So either try going yourself to the insurance company, or just like try to speak with your employer and like sort it out, because you can definitely get a new card. Luana, Brazil, for married couples, EU citizen plus third country citizen who want to move to Prague and start family reunification permit, do we have to show proof of funds? If so, how we calculate based on a year? If you are married, then you don't need any proof of income or any proof of funds, anything like that. If you were not married, if you were applying just for the partnership visa, then yes, that might be pretty complicated to prove your income, but as a married couple, you don't need that. James Find, I'm a Moroccan English teacher willing to relocate to Czechia. Is booking or Airbnb document sufficient for rent to the visa? Nope. Because that's not a proof of accommodation. That's just like a proof that you went to the internet and like clicked somewhere. But there is no proof that you will actually be living there. There is no proof that the landlord actually knows about you. So no, for long-term options, that does not work. Also, I believe that in Morocco there are quotas for how many people can apply yearly for the business visa. And in most of the countries there, it's 8 people a year. So the question is if you will ever even get an appointment to apply. Okay, so last 2 questions. I have 30 seconds, so I will try to answer those. Zishan and then Water Lily Chua. So these 2 will be the last questions, and then I run to fight. Anyway, Zishan Haidere. I got DV24. My tuition fee is free and it's dual degree program, second year in Austria. So I need police certificate to get Živno. Then if you have 24, then yes, you need the criminal check. And Water Lily Chua is free access to labor market. If I got an employer, is the contract any type written and accepted by in the embassy? Let me read that again because I have no idea what you're asking about. Is free access to labor market. If I got an employer, is the contract any type written or accepted in the Czech? I actually don't understand what is the question. So if you could maybe get in touch, like send us an email or fill in some of the forms on the website, I'll be happy to explain. But I don't understand the question now. Okay, let's do the last two: Chamuki, Bazuki, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA. It's not like an official approach, let's say. That it's self-defense, so that's a special kind of mix of everything for self-defense. And Journey with Rajesh Christy. What kind of difficulties asking the embassy officers? Because my age is 27, I applied for Master of International Trade and Business course. Well, if you go to my channel and you search for visa interview or visa questions, student interview, student visa, something like that, I've done a couple of videos, at least 2 or 3, about the different questions they ask at the embassy. At least one is definitely focused on students. So go there and that will give you a better idea of what to expect there. And that's it, guys. I need to run now. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for asking the questions. Happy that only one was kind of tricky for me, that I didn't know the exact details, that the rest I was able to answer. And I will see you again, guys. Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.